Whew. Alright, sorry about the wait, guys. We're getting into this game one of a best of three between IsGG and Team Red. We're pretty late into this draft, but no worries, we get right back on it. We've got QO, JO, Stan King, Mad, and then Flea. So we take a look at the bans from IsGG, Meepo Lone Druid, Arc Warden, Weaver, Jug for the side of IsGG, and Team Red, they've banned out the Slark. Or that came up. Swordar, Hokado, Sand King, Naga, thank God, and the Alk. So picks for both sides: Centaur, Witch Doctor, Lifestealer, Windrunner for the side of IsGG, and then for Team Red, Axe, Earth Spirit, OD, Dazzle, and Slark. So this is game one of a best of three. Winner gets to go on to the regionals, which I will be casting on my channel. Twitch.tv/gamingforgelt. I'm not part of a hub, but for right now, I'm part of Beyond the Summit. Love to be here, and with that last pick of the Ember Spirit, we should be underway with game one. So, it'll just be a moment. Not sure if Clairvoyance is ready just yet. But I could definitely take over solo for just a little bit while he comes on back. No real issue there. So we take a look at both these drafts. Lifestealer obviously going to be in that safe lane. Centaur going to be your off laner. Ember in the mid lane. And Centaur, he's, your better man's Slardar, in my opinion. Does have the Blink Hoof Stomp as well as the Double Edge, and once he gets that hood, he is pretty set and solid. And he's a good vehicle for this Lifestealer to really get things done. So they do have some issue with the internet. We'll take a pause, and that gives us some time to really get over who's on what, who's on first, and all that. So QO is going to be on the Ember Spirit, JO playing the Lifestealer again. Stan King is going to be on the Witch Doctor, Flea on the Centaur, and then Mad on the Windrunner. For the other side of Team Red, we're going to take a look. It's Ryu back on that Earth Spirit, Jenkins back on the Axe, Annihilate going to be playing Slark this time around, Bloody Nine on the Dazzle, as well as Monib on the OD. So, just going to wait for this pause. They've got a lot of time to really get things done. Not sure that is a real GG. We'll just wait as they try to get their internet settled.
Hello, sir. Sorry, I'm back.
Don't worry about it. We're in the middle of a pause, so we're all good. If you want to take a look at the draft,
Wow.
Tell me your thoughts.
Pause for me? Thank you. Unfortunately, I missed the bans, I suppose, but GG. To be honest, I like GG's cores. I don't like their supports. But because their cores are good, I guess all they really need is good supports, and they have great laning supports. On the other hand, Team Red, they've got a... I would say they've got more... They got more lane-oriented heroes, and they have one scaling catch hero in the Axe. Earth Spirit can do it as well, but it's not as reliable. And I think the game might come to a point where either the OD snowballs, or the OD will become a liability, because... GG's heroes are kind of hard to kill.
I do like the Dazzle-Slark combination, especially in longer team fights, which that could be the case with the Centaur on the other side for GG.
I like that combo in lane as well, because it's strong. But I think a smart team will actually just go aggressive. And this might be the case here. They might just do like the Centaur Windrunner thing again, where they just dual lane it. And they might just put the Lifestealer solo... Actually, I'm not sure if the Nyx wants to start solo against the Axe. That might be the case here if the support doesn't rotate fast enough. Yes. Yeah, they're committing to a hard trialing here. This is kind of bad, I'm not going to lie. This Nyx is going to get shoved in pretty hard. Nyx can beat Axe with a dual lane, but he can't beat Axe 1v1.
Meanwhile, he might be in a little bit of trouble. The rolling boulder comes in. The body blocks are pretty solid for Ryu, but it's not going to be enough. The axe hitting away at Jo also. It will push him back to pick up that bounty rune. And so it is going to end up being 2-4-2 in terms of bounty runes. And we are going to see Jo up by himself. First blood. Jo up by himself as I'm starting to go through the lanes.
Oh, wow. That first blood was huge. Did you see that? So Dazzle learned Grave at level 1.
Yeah.
And he graved himself and walked away. And then as he was coming back with the creep wave, he got sniped.
Oh.
Yeah.
I missed it.
Oh, here comes the NA memes. And for what?
Whew. 1,000 ping. Wow. So yeah, Jo, he's going to be supported by this Witch Doctor. He should be okay now that the Witch Doctor is here down low. Of course, now you've already got that advantage of a Windrunner, almost level 2. And Flea, he should be all right up against this Slark. Over towards mid, it's going to be Ember Spirit, QO up against Monib on the OD. Again, another lane that can kind of be manipulated by whether or not Earth Spirit comes over or not, in my opinion. Especially before level 6.
Right, the ES can definitely have an impact. Now, this OD versus Ember is a pretty classic matchup these days since Ember's surge of popularity in 7.0. The OD is actually really good against Ember throughout most stages of the game. The one thing that OD is not as good against Ember in is team fight. And I say that because Ember is primarily an initiator, where the OD is kind of sitting back. And OD is a very high priority target in team, where if you pop the OD, chances are their source of damage is more or less gone. Ember happens to be a hero sniper, so you actually want to blow up the OD with another hero. Now, with that said, OD does scale incredibly well against Ember because of the Arcane Orb stealing his mana inside the team fights. It's very huge, and Ember might just get himself caught out without the mana for Remnants. Now we have something interesting in the bottom lane here, as we saw from the Bounty Rune stage. We have this tri-lane going on where they're trying to fight up against the Slark Dazzle and minimize his farm. Unfortunately for them, the trade-off is that the Axe is going to get...
Ooh, they're actually going to go in on the Bloody 9. They're going to get the cask as well as the Shackle Shot. Hoof Stomp comes on through too, and they'll get another kill on Bloody 9. Not anything to really worry too much about, but with that, that's a second kill going the way of It's GG, and we've seen what they can do with farm.
Oh wow, so they decided to rotate to Slark top. This decision as well, I'm not sure how good this is though, because the Lifestealer is actually good against Slark in lane, if it ever comes to the matchup.
For me, you know, obviously, or not obviously, I think most likely the build will be for QO going to be getting that Veil. And there are a couple targets here where the Veil kind of burst down is going to be very effective. I think Earth Spirit won't be able to handle something like that, and if they can get to the Dazzle quick enough, that takes out Shallow Grave altogether.
Yeah, now also this lane matchup too, while we're talking about it, is I'm not sure if it's OD favored per se. I think the OD should win in CS. You can see now Q is actually 13-9 denies against the 10-3, 10-4 of the OD. So again, this is honestly, this is probably a bit of the MMR difference coming.
Oh, they're going to be looking for a power shot here? Was anticipating him going back. And Monib just stayed forward. That's missed opportunity, but it does make Monib think that, you know, now a Windrunner is going to be nearby at all times and might not play as aggressive.
Puts the fear in him. He wouldn't have died anyway, though. He had too much HP to go down to the power shot. As I said, you see this the rotation of Slark to the top, so they can sack this axe, so to speak, and then the supports just follow. And now the Slark has no lane again, and he's going bottom once again. And I believe what's going to happen is the support will once again follow at least one of them, and the Centaur is going to have a decent time.
Yeah, and when you rotate that many times, especially this early in the game, it really does become an issue for your farm. You start falling behind, not by a lot, but it's enough that it really, to me, it puts you at a huge disadvantage.
Right. As we can see, the laning phase, right? Look at this Windrunner. He's got phase with Peacock. What does the Slark have?
Yeah, Slark doesn't have much mad. He's just trying to be a nuisance to this Slark. Meanwhile, up top, Stan King getting very low. So is Ryu. There's the rolling boulder, and it'll be a kill right on back. This one going to Jo, which I think definitely benefits GG a little bit more.
Now, that was a sick play, and I actually think it would have been better if he didn't TP. Because both Lifestealer and he has boots, he could have started running away and making a little bit of space. The end result is that they both die, and now Axe might be dead too.
Axe going to get hit by that cast. Jo with the rage, and his counter Helix is doing a little bit onto Jo, but not enough, as he'll get himself yet another kill. And we've seen, like I said just a couple minutes ago, we've seen what IzGG can do with some farm and a little bit of a lead.
This Nake's Witch Doctor lane is like completely designed to counter Axe. Nake's already is one of the best carries in the game against Axe, in the lane anyway. As the game progresses, it shifts, but Nake's overall is very tanky. Leeches EXP, leeches HP and whatnot. But yeah, it's looking pretty good for GG so far, because again, with all this shutting down they're doing on Slark, as well as the OD just being OD and not being very quick to come online and all these things, the Lifestealer snowballing and whatnot, they're gonna take team fights. And when the team fights happen, on the side of Radiant, if they don't have the levels on their supports, on their Earth Spirit, Axe with the Blink Dagger, and Dazzle with levels, they're not gonna get much done. And to be honest, I'm not sure if this gank will work either. This Dazzle or Spirit gank, probably gonna follow the Astral.
He's too close to his tower, so they're just gonna head up top.
Yeah, I didn't think that was even possible, honestly. Because what would happen is if they Astral the Ember, and as soon as there's a sign of heroes coming into vision, they would port heroes. And if there's like a Witch Doctor port with a cask, they could actually kill the Earth Spirit or the Dazzle, depending on how deep they are. So I thought that would have been a very risky play to make.
Ooh, call is not going to hit. Now Jenkins might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the Shackle and another big
He's dead.
Pause.
He's dead for sure.
He should definitely be dead. You've got a Hoof Stomp that's going to come on through, as well as a level 3 double edge. You are dead, sir. That stuff never makes me not laugh. Little BM over there.
Some salt coming out in chat, but
I'm glad I'm Canadian.
Yeah.
So there's the double edge. Power shot comes on through, and it will be Flea getting credit for the kill, and Axe just pinging the two of them out. So it's definitely benefiting IzGG, and we saw them win that game, game 2, very quickly against Team Morty. So let's see if they can repeat it again up against Red. We said that Red needed to be on the money to really put up a contest against IzGG in both our opinions. And at this point, at 5-1, it's kind of coming to fruition.
Yeah, well, they designed the lane for the Slark to be able to win the Slark's lane. And so far, they've lost it. I think the winning is the last thing you could say out of this Slark. He's 11-1 in CS. He's one of the lowest levels in the game. He's not having a good time.
Yeah, so, trying to move forward with the Stampede as this Ember Spirit. Sorry to cut you off. There's going to be the Remnant to the high ground. They're going to try and get themselves a little bit in Ryu, but the stun will come through. Actually hits on 2, and they will just back off. Sorry about that. Continue.
No, that's fine. Obviously, actions going on the map, that's the priority. But, as I was saying, like, if they pick all these heroes to prioritize the Slark's lane, and they lose the Slark's lane, all of a sudden, your play options are limited, because you were playing for this, picked for this, and you had a lineup set up for this, and it didn't fulfill its purpose. So you gotta go to plan B. Unfortunately, when you have heroes like Slark, the only plan B is to split up and try to farm the best you can. That's not necessarily a winning strategy as much as it is like a not losing strategy, you know what I mean? So, again, like for Radiant to do things on the map right now, it's just gonna be hard. The only real play options they have is going to the Axis lane or the OD's lane, both of which I think are suboptimal. Whereas IzGG, they're gonna just keep their heroes and farm in every lane.
And they're not gonna die to ancient creeps, I'll tell you that much.
For sure not. That was kind of a tricky one. I don't think any of those creeps were. Actually, looks like they were gonna die. Probably relying on.
I just feel like it's kind of an all-in play there this early in the game to kind of go for that stack at how weak that Axe is.
He's definitely not strong enough to do it.
Yeah, and he's trying to make something happen in such a risky play that just pushes him even further back. You know, now that he's died.
No, I want to say, for all the CS that this Ember Spirit has, he doesn't seem very farmed looking at his... I feel like something's missing. The courier on the Dire side is actually just standing still in base, and I can't see what's in his stash. Whatever he has...
Stampede comes on through. There's the Sleight of Fist as well as the Searing Chains, and the Remnants will be right there to pick up that Slark. They get a double kill out on the Dazzle. So Qo, solid once again. It's just a ward on this courier sitting still.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. It almost feels like a bug. There, now it's finally moved. I was just curious because this Ember Spirit's net worth is 3.5k, but if you look in his inventory, even with the Helm of Dominator, it doesn't really... Pardon me, the Helm of Iron Will. Doesn't really look like anything like a 3k inventory. I suppose it's just the build-up items.
Yeah, you know, and he is going to be going for that Veil, and they'll close in on it probably, what, 13 minutes in? No, he's not too far about it. Never mind. More like 11 minutes.
He'll get it. In the meantime, though, again, this life's doing a very good time.
He might be in a little bit of trouble. He's going to have to use that Rage, and now with Dazzle coming over, does have that Poison Touch for the slow. Ryu's going to come over, get the stun, and the silence. There's the Culling Blade, and the kill goes the way of Jenkins.
That was nice. That was very nice. That was actually the only way they're going to get that kill. I think Jo thought in his head that he was going to reach the creep for sure. Obviously, Red knew better of it, and Ryu knew better of it. Was able to kind of take advantage of that. So that was really good. Because if Jo didn't think that he was going to get that, he would have just walked towards his base, and that kill would have never happened. Again, very well executed.
Yeah, so Red, they're kind of moving into the jungle of It's GG, and they'll kind of be okay with that. We take a look over at Flea down low. He's got himself enough for that Blink Dagger, and that's where the aggression kind of stems from on the side of It's GG with the Lifestealer as well as the Centaur. And coming on over, it's going to be that Ember. They're going to try and make something happen. If they can get an open wounds out, that would slow down the side of Red, but they're not going to find anybody. And lastly, the Slark will TP out.
Wow. I must say, that was a very awkward rotation. And as a matter of fact, they're bringing the Centaur into top as well. So this is a 5-man rotation. He's putting into smoke, and they want to cut across the map. I don't know how good this play is. When all the heroes from bottom disappear like this, I feel like it's like red alert for mid laners, especially of half HP OD, to get themselves back. But,
yeah, but
maybe he didn't read the memo. He might get caught here, and this is really bad. He just asked for the kill.
He just gave them way more time. There's the Stampede looking for the blink with the hoof stomp. Comes out on 2. There's the double-edged finish off the OD. They will get the paralyzing cask as well as the shackle shot, and Dazzle will die once again. And included in that will be Monib going down for his first time.
Okay, so I just realized what happened. I guess that looked really silly. But this is just some cases where good warning is kind of deceptive. So they saw the center poured in towards the back end of the tower at top there, and they have a ward.
He might be in trouble down low. There's going to be the hoof stomp and the double-edged out on that Slark. Going to have to ulti. Pounces into the trees and will just get out. A little bit of a taunt. And then we take a look over mid. There's the rolling boulder, but Ryu might have put himself a little bit too deep. Coming over is Qo. He's going to get the Sleight of Fist as well as the Searing Chains, and there's the Astral Imprisonment onto the OD. The Magnetize comes out, does a little bit towards the side of his GG, but not really doing all too much. There's the Shackle Shot that'll stop Monib for just a little bit longer, and the Searing Chains come out with the Remnant Blast, and down will go Monib once again. It's now 2-11. The ulti comes through for the Witch Doctor, and it will be bouncing around on the side of Team Red. They're about to get themselves Jenkins. He'll fall, as well as this Slark, and it's a 4-0, and maybe even 5. As Bloody 9, he actually gets a kill on Flea, as he gets a little bit too deep, and it ends up being a 4-1.
Yep. So that was an outplay coming out of Dazzle there. Nicely done by him, saving his stake and saving his heal for the burst. Unfortunately for them, they still lost 4 heroes. And speaking of 4 heroes, it's GG have the top 4 net worth heroes already mounting a very big advantage, I'd like to say. It's almost a 7.5k gold lead in 12 minutes. That's quite significant. And for them to come back here, they definitely want to do some sort of a smoke gank or some sort of a bait. I think smoking into Dire is really hard again because they have a lot of the Predator heroes that go in first. They do have a Blink Dagger on Axe, but again, it's like they kind of lack the damage unless everybody's there. So they need to make a smoke or make a bait play that's not obvious. And I'm not sure if they can find that against this GG right now because they're probably on high alert.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time we've seen them with such a big lead early on as Annihilate is going to get into the face of QO. I'm not sure that's the right move. And luckily, he doesn't have all 3 remnants. Otherwise, Slark might have been in a little bit of trouble right there.
Yeah, he actually didn't go for the kill. He would have popped him even with 2 remnants. The reason he didn't do it is because he didn't see any of the other heroes, and again, that's a smart move. Unfortunately for him, he's under a ward, and he might still die.
And he still might die, but there's the blink with the call. He's silenced, and the pounce. Culling Blade not going to be enough, and now he's going to be able to remnant. Now there's the blink in with the hoof stomp, and the infest does pop, and now there's the power shot going to come on through. That's going to take out the air spirit. They're going to look for more in Jenkins, and they will find themselves another kill. The Witch Doctor goes for the ulti. The cask bounces around, and they will get the Slark. They will get the OD. They're looking for another one. They've only lost the Witch Doctor coming in through with the remnants, and the hoof stomp is both the Centaur and the Ember Spirit. They will get all 5, and IzGG is up 18-4. They take an entire team wipe onto the side of Team Red.
Yeah, what can I say? I think it's I didn't get a chance to mention earlier because I wasn't here, but I think there's actually a really big player difference between these teams. They're all in like the 7K bracket, but I think like every single player on Dire has like 1K MMR on their respective role opponent. So there's definitely a lot of skill difference to say the least between these teams, and I think I honestly think it's just showing. It's very hard for Red to make plays given the laning phase, but in these team fights, like they just their spell casting and their way to maneuver is like it's always a little short, you know. So I think Dire are always like fully aware of what Red is doing, and they're kind of just holding them forward.
And Jenkins going to go in towards Roche. He's going to get spotted by QO, and for now, QO just backs off. And up top, we take a look at Jo. He's looking for that Echo Saber, just 120 gold away, and this Dazzle might be in a little bit of trouble over by the Shrine. Flea's going to come over. There's the Weave to keep him decently okay. But there comes the Shackle Shot. That'll stop the TP. The Shallow Grave only extends the inevitable, and Mad finds himself yet another on Bloody 9. And then over on mid, we're going to take a look, try and catch the end of that, as Jenkins gets a kill on QO, so he gets found out a little bit too deep, and if he had stayed alive a little bit longer, things might have been a little bit better as his team was coming over with the smoke. Flea trying to get this kill on the Axe. The Infest is already popped. There's the call, but it's not going to be enough as there's the open wounds, and the counter Helix doing quite a bit, but there's the hoof stomp with the power shot coming on through. Another kill goes the way of IzGG, and this time it'll be on Jenkins.
Man, this Solar Crest pickup on Wind Ranger once again. This is a, I believe Team NP's roles actually popularized this, and everybody's just doing it now on the for Wind Ranger. It's so good ever since they buffed the value of the armor to 12 armor and 25 evasion. It just feels like the hero that the Solar Crest is pressed on, they'll just never die. It's honestly just like a mini TB treatment. It's so hard to kill them, take them down. And yep, Kyo's just farming out bottom. And all these fights still in favor of IzGG, even though they picked off Kyo at mid. In terms of net worth, there's no real difference at that point on.
Yeah, we take a look at that net worth now that you talk about it, and it's only 7,500. It's kind of gone back towards the equal mark, and while we say that, there it is, Stampede with the blink, hoof stomp, as well as the double edge. Mad again, just stealing that last hit.
Yeah, he's taking every kill on him. And it's good. It's actually good because he's getting good items, and one more kill like that, and never mind, not even a kill. He's gonna take Roshan, and they're gonna get a blink dagger on Wind Ranger, and suddenly you have like 5 heroes on GG that can pretty much initiate. Hell, even Witch Doctor at this point can find a way to initiate.
And he's been doing well with it. Witch Doctor overall, you know, all he's got is arcane boots, but his positioning has been really solid.
Yeah, he's not getting caught out at all. I mean, part of it's due to the fact that IzGG, they're a very aggressive team, and they have aggressive heroes. So they're always going in first and creating chaos, right? It kind of gives Witch Doctor the leeway to walk in without like a Slark sniping him, for example. But needless to say, Stan King's been that good spells.
Ooh, blink and into a hoof stomp on Ryu. He's going to get stunned up his Flea. The stun actually goes all the way through to 4 heroes, and is not an issue, but definitely a thorn in their side. Axe going for that blink call. There's the blink with the hoof stomp. Axe might be in a little bit of trouble. There's the power shot double edge. Cask is going to come on through. The Stampede's going to follow it up, and now Stanking's going to use that ulti. He's going to go down to the low ground onto the Earth Spirit, who's going to regret going in that far as we do lose the Axe. We do lose the Dazzle, and 2 die again on the side of Team Red.
Wow. It's quite one-sided at this point. They're just going to take the tier 2 now and probably high ground with the Aegis. There they go. It's going to be hard to stop this one. Axe went down for 30 seconds.
So no Axe for 30 seconds. Flea just kind of taunting about. A little bit of taunts come their way, and they're going to lose this tier 3 slowly but surely. And now trying to come in is the OD. He's going to get hit by that Searing Chains. This Shackle Shot going to come through onto Ryu. And they are magnetized up, so they'll back off for just a little bit and head towards this shrine area despite not having a tier 3.
Wow. I'm actually surprised they made the call to play it safe. I thought they could take that fight 100%.
I thought they were going to just take the tier 3 and back off to take the shrine, but they didn't even take that.
I mean, again, you know, they know they're in a huge lead, so all they have to do is just fight 5-on-5 with full resources, and then they'll be able to do it. Now we have 2 players disconnecting. I don't think this is a BM leave or anything. It looks like they're just still lagging again. But what can you do?
Yeah, they're we saw it last game. They're still lagging, so it happens.
I forfeited a major qualifier because somebody didn't have internet. That's how it is.
I think I tried getting into a qualifier. It was that what was that tournament? Battle on the Strip. It was that Vegas tournament,
the Las Vegas one.
Yeah, I was like in talks with the person who was running it to cast it, and then I didn't end up getting the casting gig, so I was like, screw it, I'll try and qualify and play in it. And then I took up some random stack of 5, and it did not go well at all. They were 4 stack. I was the one coming in, and they were all just yelling at each other. I was just like, if this is competitive Dota, I'll take my step back, and
it's not easy.
I'll just talk about competitive Dota.
Putting 5 people in the same room, trying to unify them under an idea. It's a hard logic in North America for sure.
Yeah. Aw, just got called a 2K caster trying to qualify for a tournament. Little do they know I am 10K. So, 4-man smoke comes in, Infest on the Flea. They'll probably get that blink hoof stomp. They're moving a little far forward, and Annihilate's going to show himself to creeps, and that... Yeah, with that Tark pack going off, there's the Stampede with the blink and the hoof stomp, as well as the... the Infest pop. Won't be enough to get a kill. Blinking forward. Shackle shot not going to land, but it will force them back, and they will try to get this tier 2 mid.
Quite a simple sequence of events. Saw the Slark in daylight vision, and he was just caught out a little too deep. Again, there's no real territory or space, to be specific, to be able to farm here right now. It looks like they're making their way top. They're just having the Ember Spirit push out bottom, but he's kind of low on resources. Despite the fact that he has the Aegis, I think they want to do something about that.
Yeah, you don't want to give it up kind of just for free down low.
Right. You definitely want to get something out of it. So he's going to actually port back. Again, this is the problem, right? Because he's low on resources and he has to port back for resources. Now the top push is that. Once again, it's just a timing delay more than anything else. But the Aegis is slowly running out. And I feel like they should really try to make use of this. Because this Aegis is a really big advantage when you're...
Gosh, and now Kyo is going to walk right into the OD. There's the Astro Imprisonment. He's going to try and get off those Searing Chains, possibly. But there's the Blink Call. Not going to be enough as he does get to Remnant out. And now the Searing Chains come out on the OD. There's the Veil to follow it up. And they might be able to find themselves a kill on Moni. He's going to have to use that Sanity's Eclipse. He's going to try and TP out. There's the Stampede forward with the Hoof Stomp. That'll stop him in his tracks. And now there's the Open Wounds to follow it up. The Astro Imprisonment, OD's still alive. They kind of just forgot about him like he was going to just die anyway. And now they go after this Axe. There's the there's the Shackle Shot, not going to land. Hoof Stomp going to be off the mark as these blinks are all over the place. And actually, Jenkins is going to live.
Wow. I definitely don't think he should have lived there. He was between 3 heroes, but what do you know? I think the Dire team's kind of playing with them a little bit as well, so perhaps it was that, but either way, it looks like Dazzle's pretty much dead. I think Ember's holding onto his chain because he knows he can Grave TP.
I don't know. Do you even use the Grave at this point? I guess you do, but you kind of know you're dead to rights.
He definitely could have TP'd, I think. I don't know why he tried to go for the juke there. Just as soon as he walks out of fog, if he TP'd, the Ember would kind of get blocked from the pathing. Fortunate, he could have lived, but again, it's just a Dazzle kill.
So they're looking top to maybe try to make a move on Flea. I don't really think it's the smart play. I don't think they'd kill him anyway. And they all TP down low. They're looking to continue to push, grab themselves a tier 2 down on the bottom lane of Team Red. So continuing to keep the push on there is GG. And it's working out very well for them as they still find themselves up 15,000 net worth.
Almost 700-800 gold per minute that they're in the lead of. Like having another carry.
Now they'll make the rotation up top. There's the TP in by Kyo, and he's going to use that Sleight of Fist. Annihilate going to try and go in on him. There's the Echo Saber hitting, and the Searing Chains are going to miss on Annihilate. And he's now found himself in the trees. There's the Sleight of Fist, so he knows where he's at. And Annihilate, he is going to have to use that ult and TP out. Take a look down low. Boots to travel right to him. There's the Stampede looking for the Hoof Stomp. Going to get stunned up instead. There's the Infest on out. And now they try to back up as the Axe does get the call out onto the Lifestealer. He might be in a little bit of trouble. Jo trying to back up with that Rage. The ulti coming through from Stan King, and he will get the Axe. And now coming on through is the Earth Spirit. Not going to hit on anybody with that Rolling Boulder, and everybody will survive on its GG.
That was actually a really, really close call, quite literally. The Snakes was so close from getting executed by the Axe Calling Blade, but then they somehow turned it with Stan King being able to land the Paralyzing Cast on him to give him a second's buffer. That was really, really close. And I think that fight is going to kind of discourage Dar from going straight into high ground right now, even though they're still really far ahead.
Oh, Annihilate it. And Mad just blinks in and...
Yeah, they're all, like, Radiant is out of position. The Ember just blinked in forward. He's going to be able to chain the two heroes. Where? Do you see him on the map right now?
Oh.
The Ember Spirit.
Probably Sleight of Fist.
Yeah, he is in Sleight of Fist. That's right. So he actually blinked in. He still has chains. He's sliding fisting both the Dazzle as well as the Ember. The Earth Spirit. He's gonna be able to blow one of them up or drop them low enough that they can't really help Annihilate. He does have a Shadow Amulet, and there is no detection on Dire. So if he gets the Shadow Amulet off, he might live for a moment. But I do think the Earth Spirit and or the Dazzle will die for sure.
Yeah, Sleight of Fist is going to come in over the Earth Spirit and the Dazzle. Looks like there it is with the Searing Chains. He's back on the map. There's the power shot on through. The Weave's going to try and keep them alive as well as the Shallow Grave. But there it is with the Shackle Shot. Should be enough to grab themselves a kill on the Ember, or on the Dazzle, excuse me. And then they're going to continue to push on forward in mid. Or...
Still just farming. Looks like they want to chill for a second. The Aegis just expired and they know the next one's coming up in the next 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
Judging by Kyo, though, walking into the pit like that, they don't have a timer.
So Annihilate's still showing himself up top, and he might be in a little bit of trouble if there's a power shot or anything that catches him and blinking forward. There it is. Kyo's going to get a little vision on Annihilate, but he's going to be able to find himself a pounce, and there's the Remnant back. But avoiding it is the Solark, and he'll be able to escape with his life.
Oh, and Stan King.
He might be in a little bit of trouble getting very low. Culling Blade is not going to be enough. The Battle Hunger's there. Stan King going to be able to heal himself up. He 4-steps to the low ground and is out of harm's way.
They didn't actually click his hero to check his items during the call. That's a pretty big mistake. Wow. If they saw there was a 4-step, I'm sure Ryu would have just chained the stun after the Berserker's call. And I suppose the Culling Blade should have connected too. Perhaps Jenkins was lagging or something. Real unfortunate. That's a really demoralizing play when you make that easy kill play on the support and you don't get the kill.
Yeah, especially when it's something that you really desperately need to go your way. And
oh boy, a silence on Kyo. Do they have the stun though? No more rocks on the Earth Spirit. They actually went for that play with only one rock. Wow.
It doesn't seem like the communication is 100% there for Team Red.
It's really hard to make that play on Ember Spirit with one rock. You need the stun and the silence. So unless you're gonna like Jerax it up and use both with one rock or something on an initiation roll, it's just wishful thinking. So in the end, they show like 4 heroes to Kyo, and now Kyo knows that he can farm top safely for the time being. In the meantime, yeah, it's GG just getting their farm up, waiting for the next Roshan.
And they'll play it safe.
This Wind Ranger actually almost an Aghanim set. Holy moly.
500 gold away, kind of moving into that position 3 with more farm than Fui.
Yeah. More farm than the enemy's OD as well. Not a bad place to be in.
No, and there's 4 of them at the top of that net worth lead, above 3 on the side of Team Red.
Quite a slow Roshan. I think more heroes. There it is. Winner is finally deciding to hit the Roshan, and now it's going to go down a lot quicker. I believe the Ember Spirit gets it once again, and he'll be able to just dive the base at Liberty. With that, 4 of them smoke up. Looks like they're going to go for a bomb as well. And this time they have the Aghanim Centaur. So actually, if they want to get into the Radiant base, all of the heroes can walk up the terrain, walk over the cliff to get in. I'm not sure if they want to commit to the high ground like that, but they can certainly do so.
Yeah, but QO, I mean, I know he's got boots of travel, but he moves on bottom. Kind of away from his whole team, especially after they smoked. I thought they'd be a little bit more aggressive and just kind of go for it. But with QO backing up, it seems as though they're going to be a little bit more hesitant to go in onto the side of Team Red.
They found the play, I think. They see the hero. Will they go for it, though?
And there it is with the Shackle shot. Not going to hit anything. Blink call. Jenkins, now he's out, left about. And he'll be falling for his sins after this Astral Imprisonment is going to be done with him. And, wow. Okay. Nope. There it is. There it is going down. There's the Remnant forward. Bloody Nine's going to fall as well. And 2 are dead. Jenkins forced to buy back, but they haven't gotten anybody on the side of his GG. They'll take this tier 3. And they still have the Aegis. And I'm surprised, you know, with the Dazzle down and the Axe buying back, that they back off like that.
I think they'll go in again. They're just resetting so they can get their cooldowns back and regen up a little bit here and there. They use some resources and they force the buyback, so they know that they're strong. Most importantly, there's still Aghanim Centaur. Stampede is available.
Yeah, and they're going to try and go in with that pounce into the call. They might be in a little bit of trouble as 2 of them on the side of his GG are going to get very low, but there's the Sanity's Eclipse. Not going to be enough, and 4 just like that are taken off the map. It'll be a 5th as the Dazzle Bloody Nine falls. 5 dead on the side of Team Red. No buyback. And that is looking to be all she wrote for the side of Team Red, Game 1. No GG called just yet, though. And there it is.
I don't know for sure. I'm pretty sure they're gonna play another game, but just because of how these open qualifiers tend to go, they might forfeit game 2. I'm not saying it just because of this game. Like obviously it looks like a stomp, but they're lagging a lot, and apparently it's like, given their chat and their text, it seems like there's a little bit of discontent with it. Either way, we'll see if there's a second lobby. But for the time being, I think it shows that ItsGG is looking to win this thing.
Yeah, and ItsGG takes a 1-0 lead in this final best of 3. We'll see if they can close it up 2-0 if we do get into that lobby. And then I'm your caster, B-Cop, joined by Clairvoyance, and we'll be back in just a moment with Game 2.